Ripple launched their own stablecoin. A lot of people are calling it the XRP killer. They're asking, why would the bank use XRP when they can just use a digital dollar? Well, that question comes from a misunderstanding about what the XRP was actually built for. The XRP was built to resolve a $27 trillion issue that our current banking system has, and the stablecoin alone will not be able to resolve that. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the $27 trillion issue that our banking system has. I'm going to talk about why the RLUSD is not going to replace XRP, but rather make the XRP even more valuable. And by the end of this video, you will never look the XRP the same way anymore, because you will be able to understand what it's trying to resolve and how it's going to be used. So stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm sure you will love the content. Here is the logic people are using. A bank in the US wants to send $1 million in France. Why would they use a volatile asset like the XRP? They rather just use the RLUSD. The price is stable. Done. You don't need the XRP. But that is completely wrong, because your RLUSD is just a digital dollar. The bank in France, they don't want your digital dollar. They want a digital euro. They want a euro stablecoin. So you cannot just send your RLUSD directly to France and just hope it's going to be just transformed directly to a euro stablecoin. It's going to need a bridge to be able to do that. You're going to need a bridge asset. So you will send your RLUSD. It's going to be then exchanged to a bridge asset. Then from the bridge asset, it will be transformed later to a euro stablecoin. So that's what we're going to need, a bridge asset. So to be able to completely understand why you cannot send your stablecoin directly to different countries, let's talk about the issue our old financial system has. We're going to talk about the $27 trillion issue that XRP is resolving. Let's talk about it. Let me ask you this question. If a US bank wants to send money in France, how do you think they will do it? You probably have an idea on how they will do it, but let me explain how actually they will do it. So for a bank in the US to send money in France, they're gonna need to have a pre-funded account in France. And that pre-funded account needs to hold a lot of money, and it's gonna be held in euro. Because again, in Europe, the currency is euro. So that pre-funded account needs to hold euro. And if in your case you want to send money to a customer in Europe, then your bank in the US is going to take money from your account. Then they will reach out to the bank in France, and they're going to tell the bank in France, please credit this customer B in France. And the bank in France is going to take money from the pre-funded account your bank has in France. They're going to take the money from that account and send it to the customer that you want to send the money to. So from the US bank perspective, the pre-funded account they have in France is called nostro account, which simply means our money held in your bank. From the French bank perspective, that pre-funded account will be called a vostro account, which simply means your money held in our bank. So now imagine each country's banks need to have those pre-funded accounts on each country they want to send money to. And it's not just going to be one bank. So every bank going to need to have those pre-funded accounts in many different countries to be able to make the transactions, that we have, cross-border payment transactions. So just think about it. And those pre-funded accounts is estimated to hold about $27 trillion sitting, doing nothing, just waiting for people to make transactions. And with the XRP ledger, the bank are not going to need those pre-funded accounts anymore. They're going to just need to use the XRP as a bridge asset. So when you send money from your account, you want to send money in France, the bank is going to use the XRP ledger, and your USD will be changed to XRP, and from XRP it will be converted to euro stablecoin, and the person in France will get the euro stablecoin. And again, that's going to happen in the background. Again, it will be converted to the USD will be converted to XRP. Because XRP is accepted everywhere, it will be moved to France, and from France it will be converted to a euro stablecoin. That is how they will exactly do it. So we need the XRP as a bridge asset because it's solving a $27 trillion issue with those pre-funded accounts. They don't need it anymore. They can just use the XRP as a liquidity to be able to move those money, and they don't need those pre-funded accounts anymore. So it's not just because of the speed of XRP, it is because of those pre-funded accounts, because of the speed, and because of how cheap it is to move money across borders with the XRP ledger. So just look how big of an issue the XRP is solving. So you will not be able to do that in a stable coin. You cannot just send your RLUSD to France and expect that to be changed directly to a euro stable coin. Because even, for example, you use a hardware wallet to send that USD stablecoin or RUSD to send those stablecoin in France, the person will be able to receive it from a hardware wallet. But the issue is they will not be able to use that in France because that's not the currency in Europe. They're going to always need a euro stablecoin to be able to use that. So even if you send them the RLUSD in France, it will always need to be converted to a euro stablecoin so they can use that. And they're going to always need a bridge. Either you're going to go to a currency exchange, and again the fee going to be massive, and that is why the XRP will be needed, because you don't need to pay massive amount of fee. It's going to be faster, cheaper, and it's helping the bank to save money because they don't need those pre-funded accounts. They can use that money for different things. They can invest those money and get profit from it, or create different programs that will help them to grow. So that's why they're going to use the XRP. They're not going to use the RUSD. The only place the RUSD can be useful, again, if you're in the US, then you're going to send it to people in the US. It's just a digital dollar. You will use that in the US, but when you're going outside of the US, you're going to need a bridge asset to be able to send those monies in different countries. Now you understand that you can only use your RLUSD in the US because it's just a digital dollar. You will not be able to use that outside of the US because you're going to need a bridge asset to convert that to the other stable coin in a different country. So that is why you're going to always need the XRP as a bridge asset to resolve that issue, because the transactions are faster, cheaper, and it's helping you to even save money. So now you may be asking, the XRP is volatile. Yep, the XRP is volatile, but the transaction is so fast, you will not be able to notice the volatility of the XRP, because every time also you send money with the XRP ledger, it's going to take about 3 to 5 seconds to settle the transaction, and that transaction going to be locked from the beginning. So meaning it doesn't matter if the price change or doesn't change, it's going to be locked from the beginning of the transaction, and you will be able to complete your transactions. So even somehow within those 3 to 5 seconds, the price of XRP drop massively, the transaction will just cancel itself, because there is a system on the XRP ledger allow the transaction to cancel itself, so the transaction doesn't have to complete. Then nobody gonna lose money. The sender gonna always keep their money. Then you can try later to send your money again. So again, there is that system on the XRP ledger to be able to cancel transaction when there is a massive change in price, but also at the beginning of the transaction, it's already locked, meaning it has to complete the transaction within the exchange rate that they give you at the beginning. So that is why you will not be able to notice the volatility of the XRP. But on the other end, with a current, for example, let's just see the current system that we use. Every single country currency, the price always changes. The rate doesn't stay the same. The price will change, drop by 5% or increase by 5%, because the rates of different currency are different. So it doesn't stay the same price forever. The rate always changes, and waiting for like 3 to 5 days with the current system, exactly the price gonna change. You're gonna receive less than what you are supposed to receive or more, something like that, because the rate is different. So that is why the XRP gonna be even better suited to make those transactions, because of the speed of the transactions, and because we have those system at the beginning. The transaction is locked already. You already know how much the person will be able to receive, and you also, in case there is a huge drop of the price, it will be able to cancel the transaction, cancel itself, and you can will allow you to resend or try again to send the money again. So that is why the volatility is not an issue for the XRP. It's even a big advantage, because the system is really built to make those type of transactions, to have it completed. So now, how the RLUSD going to increase the demand of XRP? So just think about it. The more stable coin that we have, the more it's going to bring the need of a bridge asset between them, because the stable coin doesn't communicate to each other. You're going to always need a bridge between those stable coins, and that is why the XRP will be needed, because it will allow those stable coins to communicate to each other. And that is why you're going to always need a bridge asset even between those stable coin. So we have many different stable coin. Many different banks going to have their own stable coin. Why? Because every time you know there is a stable coin, it's going to be backed by a US treasury. And with those treasury, those banks going to be getting interest on those digital dollar that they're going to have on their system. Meaning they're going to be getting either about 5% interest on your money, because you hold a stable coin. They're going to be getting interest from it. That is why those banks are going to have their own stable coin. Many different banks are going to have their own stable coin. By having many different stable coin, that is why we're going to need a bridge asset, so they can communicate one to the other. And that is why it's going to also increase the price of XRP. It's going to increase, the demand of XRP, because it's going to be needed as a bridge asset. So that is why I think it's going to increase the demand of XRP. And even if we have many different businesses, because they want to keep the money in USD, they want to hold USD, they don't want to hold a volatile asset like the XRP. If they hold the RLUSD, they're more likely going to use the XRP to make many different transactions, because again, the XRP will be used as a bridge asset for many different things. So that is why having the RLUSD, it's going to just increase the demand of XRP. It's not killing the XRP, it's just increasing the demand. So I hope this video was valuable to you. If you have any question, you can leave that in the comment section. I would love to see that. Or if you have anything to comment, you can comment. Or if you like the video, please like and share it with your friend, and subscribe, of course, if you love the content that I'm providing. It's gonna really help to grow the channel. Thank you for watching, and peace.